going on, guys? It's Dylan Phillips, Run Drip Bubble Company, and today I'm back working on the Comanche. So after I finished doing the lift and all, I was driving it around and I forgot that I had a exhaust leak on the manifold. Decided I was going to fix it, so I pulled it up here and I pulled the intake off of it, because on the Jeeps, on the 4.0s, the intake and the exhaust manifold is all one gasket. So I pulled everything off of it, and then I found out that I had a broke bolt. And then I thought about it, I was like, oh, I remember doing that. I just never worried about it. And so it just, as more I drove it, the louder it got, and it finally blowed the complete gasket out on the manifold. It's number one. So I'm not good at drilling bolts. And Mike, he asked him, and he said, oh yeah, I can handle it. And so I let Mike work on it. And where the hole, instead of going straight in, he drilled like this downward, and he drilled plumb into the head stud. So he drilled, the bolt's supposed to be here, he drilled below it and down like this into the head stud. And so the motor's got 200 and some odd thousand miles on it, and I just opted, I was like, I'm just gonna replace the head. And so I started searching, and I actually found one in Alabama. The guy had a brand new, it's off of an 88 Comanche head. He had took it off because he was having some water loss. Took it to the shop, they surfaced it, they put all new seals in it, they put springs. I mean, it's a brand new head. Decked it, the whole everything. And when he was in the process of putting everything back together, he found that it wasn't the head that was cracked, it was the block. So there he had the new head and needed a block. And so instead of just buying another block, he decided to replace the whole block with a roller motor. I don't know, he done something. But he sold me, I got the head, I got ARP head studs and all the gaskets at a killer deal. And so I'm gonna pull this head off and put the other one on, just because that bolt, but it'll have a brand new head on it, and can't go wrong with that. So that's the bolt, and you can see the bolt that broke. Let's get it to focus. The bolt that broke was up here. It's right up here, and he drilled below it and downward straight into this head stud. So I'm gonna pull, I don't know, I'm hoping it comes off pretty easy. But yeah, I'm gonna pull this head off. I've got everything, I've got it pulled back. So I mean, there's room here. And it's pretty straightforward, it's not a big deal. All your bolts down through here. And then the same thing, you gotta pull the valve cover off, and there's some more bolts right down through there. Up and off she comes, you take off this water line, and that's pretty much it. Cause I done got everything else off. These Jeeps are super simple to work on as far as this. So let's get after it and get this thing back going. While I'm at it, I bought spacers for the front end. It's got a little bit of a rake down on the front, so it's just a little off, and it's higher in the rear. I want it to be level. I don't want it raked down. I don't want it raked up. I want it level. So I want to do that. And then I've got another Jeep Comanche bed over here. I'm gonna probably go ahead and do that while I'm at it and just knock it all out at one time. I'm gonna get rid of the light bars, and I'm gonna go back with an 80s theme. So you just have to wait and see what I do there. But I'm gonna do a few things to it while I've got it down, working on it. Figured why not? It's done at this point. So we'll get this thing back going. Yeah, this bed's pretty shot. It got this dent. I done this one. I got up, dented it up. I was up where I shouldn't have been and got stuck. But it come with this one, and it was way far in, and I just kind of halfway pushed it out and drove it. So it's shot. But like I said, I got a perfect bed over here I'm gonna put on it. So we'll see what all we get accomplished.
Some got it, some want it, some don't even know what it is. Others had it and it got away. That girl's got it, you can tell by the way that she sways. Well, it can make
was the bolt that he drilled
What you
through.
gonna do
Oh
when
yeah,
it's gone?
that'd have been a headache. I'll tell you, so we hit it. Those don't do that. That one don't do that. That one don't do that. Oh, the joys. Well, you could probably make it not leak, but long term, truthfully, what would happen is it'd probably heat up. As soon as it heated up, she'd leak. Jay drilled plumb into the bolt. He quit drilling because he couldn't get the drill bit to go anymore. He said, that's as far deep as I can get it to go anymore. Might have been the fact that he was trying to drill into that big heavy duty.
Well, you want it, go and get it. Can you handle it? I don't know. Will you want it when you get it? What you gonna do when it's gone? Well, you want it, go and get it. Can you handle it? I don't know. Will you want it when you get it? What you gonna do when it's gone? What you gonna do when it's gone?
Well, I got the head off. Hadn't pulled the head gasket yet, but everything looks pretty good. I found one thing though, is this is the number 1 cylinder, number 2 push rod. This is the one that was bent. If you'll look real close, that valve has got into the piston, top of that piston. Not much, it's got a little bit of marks. There's one little mark there and one little mark there. So I don't think we're hurt. It ain't beat up bad. Everything else looks pretty good. So just clean it all up. Make sure I get all the trash out. That's the last thing I want flowing through. And get that other head put on. But everything looks good down inside where the push rod's set. Got to get all the coolant out that spilled in here when I was pulling that head off. But I believe we're going to be all right. That one little mark, I need to, I guess, make some calls and see what would cause that. But I don't know. Might have just been a fluke. It looks like it's been done a long time, though, because there's some carbon buildup inside the crack because it ain't shiny. So look over here. This would be the intake valve here. Yeah, it's got some. I'd go to say that probably hadn't been opened in a while. That might have been some issue. Looks like this one here's. Yep. You got to watch on the Jeeps. Right here's where they're bad if you overheat them. Bad to crack right here because you got the exhaust valve on either side. So if you're going to have an issue, crack, most of them's going to be right there. But don't look terrible. This definitely don't look like it's been open in a while. If you can see, I don't know if you can see the grit down in there. So I'd say that's been stuck close. I'd say it hadn't been running too good or properly. It's run fine. I've drove it. So I stand here looking at something else, and it's pretty nasty in there. I mean, that's number 1. That's number 2. Look at number 3 and look at number 4. They're just caked. And 5 and 6 they're like number 1 and 2. So the middle 2 are awful. So what I'm thinking, I'm gonna go ahead and unplug all this, pull them out, and go ahead and clean that intake, because that don't help your breathing situation. Get this thing flowing back right, and then I'll probably take them injectors down to the marina and run them through their injector cleaner. They got a machine that cycles them through and does all this stuff, and it's amazing, and it works good. I've used it on a bunch of different things, and when you start doing it, you're like, oh, it ain't too bad, but when it finishes, it'll blow your mind how much better they flow. So I'll probably go ahead and do that. I'm this far in, why not? Got the block cleaned up. I took and had it milled down some and smoothed it all up and cleaned everything, make sure there's nothing. I put a straight edge on it, make sure everything's good, which I'm sure it is. There wasn't nothing wrong with the original head. It was just that one bolt there. So I've got that all prepped and ready. I'm gonna set the other head gasket on, and then I'll drop the other head down and get ready. But everything looks good. There's no lip inside here. It's smooth. I mean, it's in good shape. So I'll drop that other on. We'll be good to go.
Nobody sings about cowboys anymore. How the West was won with a 6-shooter and a horse. Texas Rangers, old outlaws, campfires and swinging saloon doors. Nobody sings about cowboys anymore. Nobody sings them old songs that makes you cry. Rainy night in Georgia, you were always on my mind. He stopped loving her today. Don't close your eyes. Nobody sings them old songs that makes you cry. Time brings change, it always does. I refuse to just give up and let the good things go.
On the head end, ARP head studs are all tightened down. You go 25 and then 45, 45, and then 100 pounds. And you start here, 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 and then you go those two, and then you come up here, then back there, and then back up here, and then back up there, and you do that 4 times. I actually done it 5. I double checked the very last one. I done the 100 twice too. So I done 25, 45, 45, 100, and 100. And that's just to make sure everything's good and sealed up. Gaskets is in there good. I've got water thermostat, brand new thermostat in there. Next thing I'm gonna do is pull this intake off, clean it up.
I remember when the good times was four-wheeling in the back with my daddy's Ford, sipping on my grandpa's whiskey on the backyard board. Sitting in the woods on an old pine stump, waiting for the season's first deer to jump. Winter rolled around and we prayed for the springtime sun. Now it all seemed to happen such a long time ago. The ones that I love the most are gone. I wonder if I'm ever gonna see them again. Heaven's for a different man. When I say grace, when I open up a bottle of beer, I love to sing those old church songs that makes a good girl swear. I'm a whole lot of Johnny and a little of Hank, with a side of me and Bobby McGee. If Mama was here right now, what would you think about me? Now there's a time to run, a time to walk, a difference in a city girl and cowgirl's talk. Playing my songs on the old roadhouse or a honky tonk. And the sleepless nights are the price you pay for the booze and the women and the life is great. It's amazing how there's no grace now on Judgment Day. Well, I say grace when I open up a bottle of beer. I love to sing those old church songs that makes a good girl swear. Yeah, I've been known to brag on the reason at all, just to see if I can make them believe. If mama was here right now, what would you think about me? Say grace when I open up a bottle of Colonel James Beauregard bean. I love to sing those old church songs that makes a good girl sweet. Yeah, I'm a whole lot of wailing and a little of Hank with the side of me and Bobby McGee. If mama was here right now, what would you think about me? If Waylon was here right now, what would he think about me? Johnny was here right now, what would he think about me?
Starting to lose hope on finding this bracket. Found it. Now, put this thing on there and call it good. You got a major fuel leak here. Right here. Number one, I figured it was. Well, that was short-lived. Number one injector's leaking pretty good. So I'll get O-ring put on that real quick and then see if I can come back alive. So hold on, just bear with me just a minute more. All right, take two. I had the O-ring up in here when I was putting it together. See that cut right there? So when I was putting it back together, I obviously didn't get it in there just right and cut it. And so I went out to the parts Jeep because all the parts places is closed. Stole this O-ring, was putting it together, wasn't paying attention, and cut it. So went back out to the parts Jeep again. Got a third O-ring. This time I will put a little grease, a little oil on it, just a little bit. And then I was real careful and I slid it up in there with my fingers and then I mashed it down and tightened everything down. So I believe we're gonna be good this time. So that was number one. Now what will happen is 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 will start leaking. But I think we're in good shape now. So let's hit this thing and see if she cranks up. All right, let's see if this thing, hit that switch, see if it's gonna leak this time. One thing's solid. Oh, that thing's sounding real good. We got the motors running good. It smoked a little bit, but that's to be expected with that putting everything new and all your greasy hands all over everything. But it's quiet. I didn't realize it had an issue, and now that it's running correctly, it sounds real good. So while I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and finish the lift up. I'm gonna pick the front end up. It's got a little bit of a rake, and so I ordered these spacers, and that should lift the front end up and get it leveled out just right. So that's what we're going to start and tackle next. This is Dylan with Phillips Run Drip Bubble Company, and we appreciate you watching our videos. Without y'all, it wouldn't be nothing. So if you don't mind, give us a like and a subscribe. Share it with your friends. Let them see what's going on with us. And if there's another one of our videos that you've watched that you want to see come back up, or something happen on maybe Major Payne, if you haven't seen that, go check that video out. Or the vet cart, you can go check that out and see what we got going on with it, because there's big things coming with that video. And then we got the dart and all kinds of other stuff. So if you see something you like, you don't tell us, hey, I want to see this happen to it. Or if you got an idea of what we should do with those vehicles, leave a comment. So like again, we appreciate y'all watching. Y'all have a good day.